Other than what we're doing now with the clinics, last year we went and we visited in our home countries some of the institutions that they had there. You went to Cyprus.
Yes, I did.
How was that for you?
I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't very exciting. We had nothing to do basically, because it wasn't in the hospital. In Cyprus, the healthcare system is quite different, so the outpatient clinics were mostly in a healthcare unit, not in the hospital. So for our curriculum, we had to be shadowing, I guess, a doctor, a pathologist, who was in that healthcare clinic, the small healthcare unit. But there was no point for us to do that because we didn't get to practice any clinical skills. Mm-hmm. We just sat by the doctor and we heard her like quarrel with old patients. Like, oh, you need to lose some weight. Your cholesterol is not good. Oh, you need to stop eating those sweets and things like that. So it was quite boring. So what we did is we went to the director of the hospital. Mm-hmm. And we were like, hey, we're med students. We're here for school, but we don't seem to be doing much. Could we maybe do something in the hospital? The director was very happy that we went there. So we were able to practice collecting blood from patients. We went to the ER, saw a guy getting stitched up in the head. Yeah. But for the most part, it was really quiet those days. So, we went there at 8 and we left by 9 because there was nothing to do. So it was more like a vacation for me.
I remember as well because I did it in Cyprus as well, in Nicosia. And it was in an outpatient clinic as well. I was with the... And yeah, it was like that. At some point, I started purposefully saying that, oh, there's too much traffic. Because I live in Larnaca. So I had to drive there every morning. I'm not going to wake up at 7 or 6:30 and go all the way there just to sit in the room and, everyone's eating.
Exactly.
So I
didn't go to the director?
No, I didn't go. The last day, actually, the doctor who was in charge of us just told us, you don't have to come on the Friday.
Mm-hmm. Same for us. Like, guys, don't come anymore. Mm-hmm. There is no point. They gave us the paper anyway, so we ended up being fine.
Okay. Mine was actually very good.
Because you were here.
Yeah, I was doing it in ΑΧΕΠΑ. Mm-hmm. I was in ENT department, I mean. And they showed me everything in the first day, and then after that, they either send me to the ER or they send me to the outpatient clinic. We would discuss cases. We would examine patients, like nose, ears, and...
So you actually got to practice?
A lot.
Wow.
Like I told you, after that, I was very acquainted with ΑΧΕΠΑ. Like, I know places.
Yeah, you were telling me, oh, we can go here, we can go there.
Yeah.
I didn't believe you.
I think the hospitals here are very student-based, so if you're a med student, you can just go in and do whatever you want, basically.
I think especially ΑΧΕΠΑ.
Mm-hmm. Which is not like this in other countries, from what I know. In Cyprus, you could never do that.
Yeah,
without like the proper documents, insurance, everything.
I was considering to go to the Larnaca General Hospital. So you were saying that I would need some papers?
You would need insurance for sure.
Really?
This summer I shadowed my gynecologist because I'm interested in gynecology. Mm. And I didn't even get to do anything, but I still had to get insurance, get like paperwork and everything. So it's quite formal.
Here it's not like that, at least in ΑΧΕΠΑ, because also last year before Easter, in the end of ENT, I was like, I'm getting bored of ENT. I want to go see the psychiatry room because I'm interested in psychiatry, right? So I found the outpatient clinic for psychiatry. Just went in, sit there, and listen.
And how'd you find that?
I just follow the menu, not the menu, like the directory. Like it says psychiatry on the third floor. I go up there. I go in there, and I said to the doctor there that can I like sit and listen, like in English. I said it in English. And she said, yeah. And there was another resident with me too. Yeah, so I just sit there, take notes of something that I heard, because I don't fully understand the conversation, right? Because it's in Greek. And after the case, she would explain to me. Like, seriously, she has no need to explain me, because first of all, I'm supposed to know Greek. And second, like, I'm going in there, maybe I should like ask her questions, right? But she explained to me like by herself, like as soon as the case finished, she's gonna say, this woman has eating disorder. That one has like aggressive something because he broke his head, something like that. Like, they are so nice to me, seriously.
That's really the great thing about Greece.
Yeah, and I don't even have to ask for any permission. I can just walk in the room.
Mm-hmm.
At least that was my experience. I don't know how about now. I haven't been there for a while, but that was the initial impression.
It is true for most hospitals. It's like that, because I went on call at Hippocratian also, and it really is like that. You just show up and be like, "Hey, I want to learn," and they're like, "Okay, come with me. We're gonna do this, 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 and this."
Same for us in ΑΧΕΠΑ.
And in Papagiriou, it's very good.
Really?
Yeah, when I went that one day and we had a patient, I'm not going to say what was wrong, but they let me do some sutures. I put in a catheter. I could do whatever I wanted as long as I took the initiative.
Yeah,
and I said,
true.
I want to do it.
Yeah.
And that's honestly the best way to learn, isn't it?
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Woo! How are you getting along with Greek?
You mean the language?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's of course it's difficult, but I think I'm getting a hold of it for now. I would be able to speak, yes, to the patient, to the nurses, but I cannot really understand what they say most of the time. So that is the difficult thing. I cannot always take history. If I go to ΑΧΕΠΑ and I want to take history, I have to ask Nick to do it. What I would do is just gonna do the actual hands-on stuff. But honestly, I think in the beginning, I thought that it would be so much of an obstacle, not knowing fluent Greek. But I think until now, it is an obstacle, but I think I'm just stepping over it in a way. I'm still learning Greek, of course. I'm still trying to improve my vocabulary, which I find is the most important part for now. Mm-hmm. But it's not as I was fearing it in the beginning. I think I was so afraid of it in the beginning, but no, now I'm very brave to just go to hospital alone.
That's really good to hear, actually, because Greek is a hard language. So props to you for seeing it that way.
How would you say that they differ? The clinics, let's say in Cyprus, that you went and observed as to the ones here?
I live in a village called Verinia, which has a population of around 3,000.
Where in Cyprus is it?
Bro.
It's right next to Ayanapa. It's right by the border, so half of Verinia is occupied and half of Verinia is...
I haven't heard of that village.
Yeah, I live right by the border. And the hospital is right by the border, so you can view the ghost town of Famagusta from the hospital, actually.
Oh, I think I might have gone by there. Yeah, now that I remember, it's a bit higher up, isn't it?
So, for me, our hospital doesn't get that many people, especially after COVID, where everything shut down. Our hospital became the baseline hospital, so every person who had COVID had to go in there. So for me, I would say that you won't see extreme cases in where I am, because there's just not a lot of people, not a lot of doctors. We have a lot of immigrants now, so we mostly see the immigrants because they need healthcare.
Talk about immigrants. How are the patients there, in Cyprus, the immigrants and the Cypriot people, are they, let's say, more or less patient or like loud compared to the Greek patient, for example?
The immigrants or the Cypriots?
I'm asking both of them.
Okay. I guess it all depends on the character. But Cypriots are known to be loud talkers and quite expressive.
Are they rude to the doctors, for example?
Not per se. Well, it just depends. I haven't come across a patient that was rude. But, for example, my mom works in the hospital.
Yeah.
She's a pediatric physiotherapist. And she comes across different types of people every day. So it's hard to categorize a group of people into like being rude or being compliant or, you know.
Yeah.
It just all depends on the person alone.
Our system in Vietnam, we actually charges for like the hospital and everything. How about is it like in Cyprus? Because I know here in Greece you have the ΑΧΕΠΑ thing, right? Most of the things are free. I would say probably everything is free in terms of medical. How about in Cyprus?
In Cyprus, we have a newly built healthcare system called GESY, which stands for, I don't even know what it stands for, to be honest. But basically, depending on your income, on your yearly income, you have to pay a certain amount of money, like insurance money, that goes into the healthcare system.
Yeah.
So you get a certain amount of doctor visits for free.
Yeah.
Some notes to send you to the other doctor for free.
Yeah.
So the thing with this is everybody gets the same privilege.
Yeah.
But some people have to pay more money, some people have to pay less money. And that is clashing in a way because, say for example, I needed my tonsils out and I needed them fast because I was getting infection week after week. I took antibiotics, it went away for a week, then it came back. So I needed them out urgently, and because I was back and forth from Cyprus to Thessaloniki, I had to be quick about it. I couldn't be put on a waiting list. So if I were to do it under the GESY system, I would have been waiting for months. And that is quite dangerous because, as we learned from microbiome, strep can increase your risk for rheumatoid fever, endocarditis. Sorry, I'm just flexing my knowledge.
No, that's cool.
But
the Anki is working.
That's what the doctor told me. So I decided to go to a private doctor. And fortunately for us, my father pays healthcare insurance. So we were able to undergo the surgery in a private clinic. And it was all paid for by the insurance.
You know, in Vietnam, the doctors are, let's say, more precise in a way. The reason is, okay, we do have insurance, but the insurance is not something that we always count on. I think the insurance paid like 75% of the bills, whatever. But what I mean is like, for us, we usually go to private because it's just better sometimes. And the doctors, they are always more, let's say, cautious with what examination to give. You know why? Because the expense there is really high. Like one doctor visit, I think it's like half of the monthly salary for an average person. So like we're very, let's say, conservative with giving out tests. Like, but here when we come in and when people comes in, you know, we just do ECG for fun. No, seriously, it's for fun. And then we do blood pressure. Okay, that's standard. And then we do oxygen meters. And then, yeah, like, we're just giving out tests for fun. And then arterial blood, right? But I swear to you, in Vietnam, the maximum they would do if, let's say, somebody have fever, is a blood test to rule out some kind of virus related. But how about it in Cyprus? Like,
to be completely honest with you, I'm not really sure. Because in Cyprus, the private practice doctors are the ones that get the most people. So you don't really go to the ER if you have a problem.
Oh.
You go to your private doctor.
Hmm.
You go to the ER for mostly trauma or like heart
A real
attack.
emergency.
Yeah. So here I can just go to the ER and be like, hey, I have a sore throat. Can you hook me up with some antibiotics?
Yeah.
And they'll just be like, yeah, sure, wait 3 hours because it's not that severe. And then you can get it and go away.
Yeah.
But in Cyprus, it's not like that.
Hmm.
We have many private practice doctors. So if you just have a problem, you book your appointment, you go to the doctor. And if the problem pertains to something specific,
Yeah.
like your intestines or maybe your
And, kneecap,
joints, your ligaments, they will send you to the appropriate doctor. And the thing about this healthcare system is that you're not allowed to be like, hey, my stomach hurts. I need to go to the gastroenterologist. No, you have to first go to the general pathologist, and then the general pathologist can say you should go to the gastroenterologist.
Okay.
So it's a lot of
Steps.
Yeah.
here, there, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite, how do I say it in a way that's not going to sound bad, but it's not really very efficient.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Because why would I need to go to the general doctor if I have a broken bone?
We also said before that you are a member of the new student union. Would you like to tell us a bit about that?
Yeah. IMSoG is, as we said before, International Medical Students of Greece. Is a student union created by Andreas Andoniadis, our classmate and the president. And our goal is to eventually get medical students, international medical students that study in Greece to come together. It's still very early because we just started having a structure and everything. But I think it's a fantastic way to get people connected, give people opportunities. So basically, because now Greece is starting to have more medical students and more schools opening in each city.
Oh, so you want to connect all of them?
At one point, I think that's gonna be the plan.
Yeah.
But for now, we still have to figure out our structure.
Our school first, or
Yeah, our school first. Our students support our students because, after all, we are the first medical students of Greece, internationals. So my role in this is that I'm the vice president of academic affairs.
Yeah.
And what I do is I handle everything academic.
For example.
Yes. For example, we are the first year that came here, and we had no material for exams.
Yes, we're the
anything.
victim.
Everything is in Greece.
that is true.
Every note is in Greece. PowerPoints were in Greek.
Yeah.
And so I took it upon myself to collect everything that there is online that we could practice with, that we could use to utilize to pass our exams.
Honestly, I think that's very helpful.
Yes.
Yeah, it was very helpful for a lot of the exams. You and Stella, I think it was, were translating so many of them.
It's very time consuming, but I think it's something that needs to be done.
Thank you so much for that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Thank my team, honestly, because we all put in work. Me, Sam, Stella, Panayotis. We all put in work. I couldn't be doing this by myself. And I think that IMSoG helps with matters like this a lot. For example, Atarva helps with student relations. He guides new students. He helps them with indoctrination into the school.
Yeah.
Amandine writes an article. Andreas is the president. Sunday hosts events.
That's one thing. I have to give props to you guys. I think you guys did it really well, which is the website. I think it looks fantastic.
The website looks very good.
Yeah, I really
It's
like
very
the website.
professional.
And there's one thing also that I noticed when we were doing our own website is that you also rank very high in the Google search.
We did?
Yeah, you did.
I didn't know that.
SEO is very well optimized.
To whoever did that, he did a really good job.
I think Andreas and Antonia made the site. I'm not very sure though. Andreas is works on it constantly. He constantly updates it.
Good. I think he did a great job, to be honest. One question. Do you have a concrete plan of when you're gonna try to go to other school? Because medical student in Greece, right? So there's in Crete, in Athens as well.
And they're thinking of opening one in Larissa.
Yeah, I think it is gonna open by next year.
Yeah. So what is your plan in terms of those?
We haven't really talked about that, to be honest, because we're trying to get our things straight and have the best organization possible for us here. And I think after we finally see a vision for here, I think then we can move on to other schools and communicate with other schools.
Yeah. But what I mean is what exactly are we gonna do with other students?
So
IMSoG, the Union of the Greek Medical Students, I think it could be something homologous to that, analogous.
Similar
to that.
What do they do at IMSoG?
Where we have conferences with medical students, we exchange material, things like that.
I will also say that I think it is easier for the Greek students, because there's just more of them.
Yeah.
There's so many more of them willing to also, add this little bit, that bit, this bit of work.
And we're
for you guys, it's very little.
We're just 180 people. Most of us, let's be real, it's very time consuming. We have meetings every Friday and they go on and on for hours. Yeah. It's time consuming, but you need to have drive to be a part of something like this.
Yeah.
You need to want to make a change. And it's not for everyone. And I would understand why people wouldn't want to be part of it, because med school is hard as it is.
Yeah.
Well, you don't need to add to it,
Yeah.
But it's, I think, a great initiative, what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I can see that there are a lot of things, good things to come yet. The event we did yesterday on Thursday was great.
Yeah.
So many people. It was so nice to see. We had so much fun.
To wrap things up, what advice would you have for second-year students who are going to go into their clinical rotations next year?
I would say just try to enjoy it. Just try to view at it like it's learning something new. And it's going to be quite hard to get used to at first. Because of the waking up very early.
And especially for people who don't speak Greek like me.
Yes. I'm going to be honest, I speak fluent Greek. It's my first language. So for me, it wasn't all that hard as it is for you guys.
Yeah.
So I would say try to be involved as much as possible. Go to on-call days. Try to build a relationship with your attending doctors, your teachers, because they are the people that are going to help you. And you can learn so much from that. And even if you don't know anything they're talking about, because I sure as hell don't feel demotivated, because you have to start from somewhere. And I think we already made that beginning.
Okay. Thank you so much.
That was a very good ending.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You should tell her that. Yeah, tell me about that.
Don't include that.
Yeah. Sorry, mi amore. I'm just joking, okay? Don't hit me.
Anyway, thank you for watching this episode, and we'll see you next time.